Hey, Dr. Lori here, and I wanted to tell you a story because it might impact, even if it impacts one of you, it might help you. So a couple weeks ago, my husband and I celebrated our wedding anniversary, and I wanted to go to do a wine tasting. And I haven't had, actually, in the last 6 months, I have been reducing my alcohol intake, reducing my sugar intake, but I just felt like doing that for our anniversary. So we went, and we went to the wine tasting. The gal told us that for $10 more from our wine tasting, we could get 2 extra bottles of wine. Next week, come back and get 4 extra bottles of wine and another tasting. So we ended up doing all of that. I left the wine tasting and I didn't feel too good the next day. And I was like, yeah, I know it's the wine, it's the sugar, the alcohol, it's a combination. Kind of went away in a day and I was good. Fast forward to the next week, we went back to the wine tasting and I decided to try some different wines. And I don't normally eat or normally drink sweet wines, but I decided since I probably wasn't going to be drinking any wine in a while that I would try some sweet wines. So some of them, they had like a variety of sangrias, different flavors. They had some fruit wines, things that I don't normally drink, but I decided to try them. Well, I did a flight of these wines, and then that night, I was like, gosh, I just don't feel good. And I said, oh, it's probably the wine tasting again. I should have learned from last week. Well, unfortunately, for 4 straight days, I had extreme bloating. Like I should have literally gotten out a tape measure and measured it. I had horrible flatulence and gas, and my stomach just was such in pain. And I told myself, I go, man, I cannot believe the sugar, the alcohol, these things, it's like they were fermenting in my stomach is what it felt like. And I tried things that I knew. I increased my water intake. I actually increased some fruit and vegetable intake so that I could help push some of this through. I used a binder at night. It took 4 days, 4 solid days for me to actually feel myself. And a lot of that, I think, is that extra sugar. One, the alcohol, too. But it was because they were sweet wines. It was just the extra sugar. And so actually now, I haven't drinking any alcohol since then. I have no desire to drink any wine, not even the 6 free bottles that we got in those 2 sessions, which sounded great at the time. And I say that because the way that it made me feel is no way that I want to feel ever again. And when I work with clients and they tell me they have abdominal pain or they have gut issues, and and we do food intolerance testing, and we look to see which foods might be causing some of your issues. And one of the things that I tell people is that 25% of our world population suffers from fatty liver disease. 25% of the world's populations, that's 1/4 of our world, has fatty liver disease. And it does include children also. And the reason that we know this is because, one, we know it is because people are coming in with symptoms and they're getting tested for inflammatory markers. But the other thing is some of this doesn't really have a lot of symptoms. So we might not know for years, 10 to 30 years before your liver starts acting up. The reason is because your liver can function to 20%, down to 20%. Your liver is an amazing organ that sometimes we take advantage of. And we take advantage of all of the things that our liver does for us. And so I'm sharing my own personal story with you because I don't want you to be there. I don't want you damaging your liver. I don't want you to have fatty liver disease. And we know that fatty liver disease is on the increase because our society in general eats too much sugar. Sugar is everywhere. There's a plethora of sugar. Anywhere you want to get it, you can get it. I can have it delivered to my home and never leave my house. I can get it almost anywhere that I go. So thinking about, and it's addictive. Sugar is very addictive. It is hard, trust me, it's hard to cut out sugar. It takes a commitment. And if you need an accountability partner for that, then that's what I'm here for. One of the other things is too much alcohol. So if you are looking at, what's the average? When I tell people, how many drinks are you taking in a day or a week? A day and a week, and what the averages are, and it's not necessarily what constitutes a drink, right? 4 ounces of wine. Is it a 12-ounce beer, a 1.5-ounce shot? A lot of that, people have a 3-ounce shot and they count that as a drink. Well, technically it's 2 drinks. If you have 2 beers, it's 2 drinks, and people understand that. But sometimes people make their wine glass bigger and they say, oh, it's still just 1 glass. The box wines now that are really popular, particularly in the summer, because there's no glass, and when you're traveling, you can have the box wine. But it's easy to overconsume because you don't know how many ounces you're getting. You're just pouring from the spout into your cup, and however many ounces goes into that cup, and then you might refill it. So those are a couple of things. The other third thing that we see, why we see an increase in fatty liver, is bad oils, bad fats, seed oils. We hear more and more about the seed oils, but they cause inflammation. They're heated to points that our body just wasn't meant to have these high point oils in. So these are the 3 things that I tell you are helping to increase fatty liver in us. Too much sugar, too much alcohol, and too many bad fats. See if you can cut out one of these. Just one. They're all harder to cut out, but they're not hard. Choose your hard. Is it easy to cut them out? No. Man, it's not hard to cut them out. Depends on where you are and what's worth it. We only get one body here on earth, and we need to take care of that body. If I can help you to love the body that you live in, I would love to help you do that. Trust me, I have personal experiences. I have almost 40 years in helping people, and I'd love to help you figure out whatever it is so that your health is a priority. Sometimes things just don't feel right. You know something's off, but you're not quite sure what it is. Well, I can help you be that sleuth and the detective to figure out what's going on in your life, that we could help you so that you live the life that you want to live and that you're living your best life. That's really what I want for you, is to live your best life. So if I can help you live your best life, reach out to me. Say wine. Post down below and tell me wine, and we'll have a free consult and a free conversation about how I can help you. Now, go out and make it a great day and reduce the sugar, the alcohol, and the bad fats. I'll talk to you soon.